Two jurors in $40 million fraud case are dismissed after one was allegedly offered a $120,000 bribe for a not guilty verdict. Let me get this straight. You stole $40 million from starving children and partied your ass off. You never invited me to any kickbacks. You never sent me any gift baskets. Now the carriage is turning into a pumpkin and you want to offer me pennies to help get you out of trouble. See, no one's integrity should be able to be bought or sold, but it should come with a number high enough to at least make you consider. A second Minnesota juror has been replaced as the panel weighs the fate of 7 people accused of misusing millions of dollars in federal funds meant to feed children during the pandemic. Is there anyone who's seen a nickel of that pandemic money that really needed it? It went all to scammers, and what prosecutors say is part of the largest fraud scheme of its kind in the nation. Both jurors have been replaced with alternates. The juror was removed Tuesday after a family member asked them if they were being sequestered because another juror was allegedly offered a bribe of nearly $120,000 in cash over the weekend. That juror was not home Sunday night, the eve of deliberations, when a woman delivered a gift bag full of cash and left it with a relative, according to an FBI search warrant affidavit. Nobody wants to go to jury duty. They don't match what you would make if you had went to work for those days. I don't even think they buy you lunch. Can you imagine finding $120,000 on your porch and you have to do the right thing? You got to call the authorities. Hey, I found $80,000 on my porch. I think it might be related to that trial that I'm being a juror on. You better hurry up because $50,000 is a lot of money and it's starting to make me nervous. The visitor knew the juror's first name and told the juror's relative that there would be more of that present tomorrow if the juror agreed to find the defendant not guilty. The affidavit said the juror reported the incident to the police. The FBI said all 7 defendants, their attorneys, and the prosecutors had access to that juror's identifying information. How the hell did that happen? The FBI moved to search the defendant's cell phones. The alleged bribe happened as the trial was coming to a close. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota has charged 70 people in a massive $250 million fraud scheme involving the nonprofit Feeding Our Future, and you dump a punk-ass $120,000 on my porch. No wonder I didn't have any incentive to not call the police. 18 of them had pleaded guilty, officials said. Feeding Our Future was a sponsor participating in the federal child nutrition program. Prosecutors said the nonprofit employees recruited people and entities to open federal child nutrition program sites throughout Minnesota as part of the alleged fraud scheme. Feeding Our Future went from receiving and dispersing about $3.4 million in federal funds in 2019 to nearly $200 million in 2021, prosecutors said. I can see with such a noble cause, you're going to get some good people. You're going to get some people that want to do the right thing. You're going to get some people in there that really want to help. But with such massive growth in such a short period of time, you're definitely going to get some bad actors mixed in there. How many swanky banquets do you think they threw with tons and tons of food that they just ended up tossing in the trash at the end of the night anyway, all in the name of starving children? Prosecutors say the defendants received more than $40 million from the federal program, which they spent on personal luxuries, including multiple homes and properties and luxury vehicles from April 2020 to January 2022, according to a criminal complaint, all on the backs of those starving kids in the arms of an angel. The program was meant to provide free, nutritious meals to children and low-income families in need. While the defendants claim to have fed millions of children, prosecutors said they used the money instead on multiple real estate properties and cars. The complaint says the 7 defendants are facing felony conspiracy, wire fraud, federal programs, bribery, and money laundering charges. They have all pleaded not guilty. This reminds me so much of Jason Gerald Shank, the guy that stole $30 million and said he was sending Bibles to places in China. Come to find out, he didn't send anyone not one Bible. If you weren't so damn greedy and actually spent some money on what your cause was supposed to be for, people wouldn't look in your direction. This was a brazen scheme of staggering proportions, U.S. Attorney Andrew Luger said in a September 2022 statement. When prosecutors first announced the federal criminal charges, these defendants exploited a program designed to provide nutritious food to needy children during the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead, they prioritized their own greed. Regarding the alleged juror bribery incident, Frederick Getz, an attorney representing Mukta Mukhtar Muhammad Sharif told NBC News that his client had absolutely no part in it. None of the other 6 defendants' attorneys responded to requests for comments Tuesday. Obviously, they got some type of reach. They got a hold of a juror's personal information and delivered money to that person's home. This could have easily turned into a situation where someone was getting threatened. What do you think about this?